All right. It's that time again. Late night crypto talk. Bitcoin Brandon here from Los Angeles, California. See, who do we have on the line? We've got Rohan Johnson, Darnell Abram, Miss Kathy Keene. Yes, we meet again. Terry Moreno, Jeff Boltinghouse, LaShayna, Mr. Gerald Gardner, Andrew Cobb, Miss Christy Snotty, Miss Alaska, Lisa Smith, see you Gerald Gardner, Rick Francis, welcome. Hope you guys have had a successful Monday. I know how hard it is, the first day of the week. Get up in the morning, get things kicked off, get things started. But the good news is Monday is over and you've got 4 days left. What's going on, Alexis? Only a couple of articles to cover tonight. I covered a lot of stuff this morning. But as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice. I read the news, give my opinion, share suggestions, and it is up to you to make an informed, intelligent, adult decision. There's 4 rules I live by in the crypto space. Rule number 1, education is everything. This morning, that's what the whole topic of crypto talk was. Universities around the world are adding education, crypto education, to their curriculum. Rule number 2, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. Rule number 3, always get your return on investment back as fast as possible. Rule number 4, where do you see yourself 3 months, 6 months, a year from now? What vehicle are you using to make that happen? What risk are you willing to take? However, take action, remain focused, and do not get distracted. There's so many things out there that can distract you. You have limited resources, so you can't be involved in everything. This is not going to guarantee you success, but it will at least limit your risk, and that's the most you can ask for. And Kathy talking about got up at 4:30. I didn't get up till 8:45 or something this morning, right before crypto talk time. Love that. When you work for yourself, you wake up when you're finished sleeping. I like that concept. All right, let's go ahead and get things kicked off here. First up, I've been sitting on this for days. Now, I talk about how the blockchain is going to disrupt every single industry on the planet. It is now entering the art industry. So, patent application eyes Bitcoin blockchain for artwork provenance. So, let me put this link in the chat box. All right. A newly published patent application seeks to use blockchain technology to establish and maintain a chain of ownership for artwork. You see that? Every single industry on the planet will be. It's not a matter of if or maybe. It will be disrupted. So those of you that are art enthusiasts out there, then this is for you. You may not like Bitcoin or blockchain or even understand it, but you will be participating in it whether you like it or not. The patent application, which was published by the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office on Thursday, lists the framework's inventor as Howard H. Sheeran, a patent attorney in Scottsdale, Arizona. According to Sheeran's LinkedIn page, he now works in Silicon Valley, where he has been studying and actively participating in the cryptocurrency revolution, including to draft multiple Bitcoin blockchain patent application. His website also indicates that he accepts Bitcoin. Oh, look at that. Writing in the patent application, Sheeran notes that certificates of authenticity are crucial to enabling sellers to obtain the full value of their artwork in auctions and other sales. However, paper certificates are inadequate guarantors of provenance. He writes, artists have in the past issued paper certificates of authenticity for each art piece they create so as to increase the value of each art piece for subsequent buyers. When a second buyer is interested in purchasing an art piece from a first buyer, the first buyer may present the paper certificate of authentication with the art piece in order to move their legal and legitimate ownership of the art piece. However, paper certificates may be easily forged, which greatly diminishes the value and efficacy of this authentication system. There is therefore a need for a better system to authenticate art pieces that is not easily circumvented. What's happening, Justice LeBron from Puerto Rico? You know, I was just having this talk with Angel, her husband, the other day about the blockchain and the ease of the ability of it to solve problems. He was telling me in his consulting work, to be successful is about your ability to solve somebody's problem. If you can solve their problem, you have a winner. The blockchain is solving the world's problem, and it's a problem that the average people like you and I don't even know exists. We're talking about things that are happening behind the scenes. The only way we know it exists because we pay for it in the form of having to pay a third party extravagant fees for their services to solve the problems. But we don't even know it's a problem. So this is one of the, I liked what a gentleman on TED Talk that Kathy had posted had said, that the blockchain represents the quietest revolution the world has ever seen. It's a quiet revolution that's going to have the biggest impact the world has ever seen, because it's out of sight, out of mind. You know, we don't know what's taking place because it's behind the scenes, but it's going to impact us. So here's another way to be able to do art transactions with a better system, which is more safer, which is more legitimate. All right, I'm not going to read the rest of that. I mean, that's self-explanatory. Let's go on to the UK. UK mosque collects 4 times more donations in crypto than in fiat. Huh. Here's another, you know what? We saw this happen. If you guys, I remember I read this article back last year when the hurricane hit Puerto Rico. And it was out of Texas. And I forgot the artist. I know Jennifer Lopez, and I forgot the other artist's name, where they actually had hired their own planes to take supplies to Puerto Rico because we couldn't rely on the federal government to do their doggone freaking job. All the bureaucratic tape that was involved, and they realized that people that were donating to the Red Cross and other what you call charities, you realize that only like 15 to 20% of the money donated ever even gets to where it needs to go. So that was the first time people started setting up crypto donations, so you knew exactly where the money was going in donating. I thought that was cool. Well, look at this one here. The UK mosque collects 4 times more donations in crypto than fiat. A British mosque has collected 4 times more donations in cryptocurrencies than fiat, showing another example of the growing importance of the innovative instruments in charity. People from all around the world donated to the mosque using cryptocurrency during Ramadan, including one transaction of over £5,200. The Shacklewell Lane Mosque, also known as Masjid Ramadan in Dalston, East London, UK, has decided to accept cryptocurrencies as charity, as reported back in May. All right, you know how I always say, do you know when Bitcoin has really, become accepted? And I have fun when I say this, but it's true. When you see porn stars, strippers, and prostitutes accepting crypto for their services, you better believe it's real money. You know who's going to be next? Before the government? When you start seeing ministers and pastors, especially in the United States, where you've got the prosperity preachers out there, when you see them saying, like I tithe to my church, but I don't tithe to my church. You know when you go in church and they're passing around the what do you call that? The gift basket, not the gift basket, but the tithing basket. And you put your $5 or $10 in there, or you might drop a check in there or whatever. The funniest thing, I can't say it was funny, but after the hurricanes in Texas, what was it, Joel Osteen's church that was passing around the donation plate, and everybody in there were freaking victims that lost their homes? I don't mean to laugh, but it was kind of funny when I read that. I'm like, come on now, you can't be that tone deaf. But anyways, when I go to church, I don't put money in the donation, the tithing bucket. I do it online. In fact, with my phone, my church has a like a texting where I just type in faith, and then I put the amount I want in, and it's tied to my bank account, so it automatically withdraws from my bank account. Okay, taking advantage of technology. But I'm gonna tell you something. When you start seeing them say, here is our Bitcoin wallet address or our Ethereum wallet address, we now take crypto for your tithes and your donations, oh, you better believe crypto has made it. Trust me, it's coming. When it happens in your church, think, Brandon said so. I remember when Brandon said this is going to happen. So for those of you who still don't believe in Bitcoin, you don't want to get involved, and you're going to start seeing Bitcoin ATMs when you driving down the street, or you're going to start seeing go to your job and they're going to say we're now paying your salary in Bitcoin, as Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer just said 3 weeks ago. You're going to go into your church and they're going to say we now accept donations in crypto. At that point, you should pull out your wallet and say, here's my $300 for cryptogenics. I need crypto education right now because it's happening all around me and I don't know what the heck is going on. I need to get my education on. Here's my $300. It's gonna happen. Mark my words. TD Jakes, you're gonna see commercials, and you're going to see a QR code on the commercial, and you're going to see a Bitcoin wallet in his commercial. Mark my words. All right, let's get back to what's going on in this mosque. He added, when donations started to flow in, we were blown away. We received 4 times more in cryptocurrency donations than in cash. I just forgive me, my brain is running. Remember I talked about the strippers that have QR tattoos on their body? So instead of making it rain, you just wave your phone across whatever body part they got that tattoo on. I just got an image of a pastor. But where would he put that QR tattoo? On his forehead? Or maybe, instead of the collection plate passing around, it will be a collection paper with the QR code on it. So when they pass it around, all you do is scan your phone on the QR code, and that's the collection plate. Cha-ching, right then and there. No longer dealing with money. On his chest. Well, you're talking about the strippers. You know what? You got to figure, they're elevated, probably on their thigh or something. I'm just saying, I don't know. I did say more research needs to be done. Who's brave enough to go into those strip clubs and see where those QR tattoos are? Stop it, Brandon. Stop it. It is not. It is late night crypto talk. What am I talking about? All right, but that's not the topic tonight. We're not talking about sex tonight. We're talking about the mosque. Anyways, 24 people from around the world donated to the mosque using cryptocurrency, including one transaction over £5,200. The funds are earmarked for repairs to the facility, offering food and shelters to needy locals, as well as supporting poor Muslim families with funeral costs. On behalf of Cryptogenics, we're in Vegas, myself, Mike Boggs, Jairus Coleman. Oh, Jairus Coleman, who is going to have his own show talking about Ride the Wave. Jairus, I got some assignments for you. Yeah, we got some research assignments for you. While you're visiting stores and restaurants that's accepting Bitcoin, take a trip to Vegas. You got some research to do. That's all I'm going to say on that one. All right, yeah, Bitcoin charity. Another example of blockchain technology that's disrupting another industry. All right, next up. U.S. regulators approve Coinbase acquisitions, enabling it to list security tokens. This is going to be a little bit boring for me, but it's information I need to know, so I'm gonna cover it. Kathy, I don't think you're going to be able to go on what I'm talking about for me and Jairus to do. The research that needs to be done, you can roll with us, but I don't think you might like it too much. All right. U.S. regulators. Coinbase Inc. has announced that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, the SEC, and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINFRA, have approved. Every now and then, we got to have fun with what we do. Yeah, you with me now? We got to do some research. I don't think that's a place for Mama Bear. Let me compose myself, get something to drink real quick. All right. Coinbase has announced that the U.S. SEC and the Financial Industry Regulatory Authority have approved its purchase of 3 companies that will enable the cryptocurrency exchange and wallet service to offer security tokens under federal oversight, according to Bloomberg. Speaking with the publication, a Coinbase spokesperson said the regulators have approved its request to acquire Digital Wealth LLC, Vinovate Marketplace Inc., and Keystone Capital Corp., acquisitions which CCN reported last month. Vinovate and Keystone are both registered with the SEC and FINRA. I remember I covered this, that what Coinbase is doing, instead of getting their own license themselves, they'll partner with companies that already have an SEC license. And that's smart. There's nothing wrong with that. It says Digital Wealth holds an SEC registered investment advisor license, while Vinovate is also licensed as an alternative trading system. The approvals were not reported as of this writing on either the SEC or FINRA websites. Achieving direct federal regulatory oversight marks a milestone as well as a challenge, since Coinbase previously has only been overseen by state regulators. And that's difficult, because then you got to get regulated in all 50 freaking states. But it looks like if they get directly with the SEC, I don't know the law that well. I got to go back and research this, and maybe you guys know. Because you have a difference between the federal with the SEC, and then each state has their own version, which is why you might see like a state like Texas issue a cease and desist order. But that doesn't mean they can't do business in other states, or the SEC officially shutting them down, period. You know, the United States can be a little bit tricky. So achieving direct federal regulatory oversight marks a milestone. The company noted in June that the SEC oversight will enable it to work as a broker-dealer, a registered investment advisor, and an alternative trading system, widening the range of services it can offer to customers and assets it can list on its platform. Hold up. Is that actually true? They don't have the license. But if they partner with companies that do. So let me go back to the beginning of what this says. The SEC has approved its purchase. So they purchased these 3 companies that already have the license. Does that extend to all of Coinbase's business? Or will Coinbase have to do business like this through those companies? Because now it's like you're paying to play. All they did was bought a company that has a license. That doesn't mean that you're secured. But I'm sure they've got a team of freaking lawyers they're paying a boatload of money to. I'm sure they've already gone through all of this. But it is an interesting a way to sidestep it. Okay. Alternative trading systems, which operate separately from public stock exchanges, could ultimately manage billions of dollars worth of tokens sold in ICOs. While some governments, including the US and China, have clamped down on ICOs, these venues have raised in excess of $12 billion this year, more than tripling last year's total according to CoinSchedule. All right, I see a game of chess being played right here. With the SEC coming out and saying that Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically are not securities. But then they said they believe every single ICO is a sale of a security. These ICOs is going to be difficult to be placed on exchange, their coins, because then the exchange themselves are now seen as you're selling a security. You're selling a coin that went through an ICO that we consider a security. Therefore, you need to register with us. So you've got companies that say, you know what, let's not even go through an ICO. Let's just, like GreenX is doing, mine the coin ourselves. And if you're mining it, you own the coin. Or you own you own the mining machine that's mining the coin. Therefore, you don't have to worry about if your coin is listed on an exchange because it's not considered a security if you're mining it outright. So GreenX will never be considered a security because it's being mined by a machine you own. So here's what Coinbase is doing. They're trying, remember they had GDAX. And I remember Lashana even brought this up. I forgot, and I saw the article. You guys remember what other exchange Coinbase purchased? And then they're getting rid of GDAX. So what they're doing is they're saying, okay, we'll purchase companies that already have their SEC licenses. Therefore, if there is an ICO out there and they want to list their coin and they don't want to get on Binance or the others or Kraken because it's considered an ICO, slow down, Brandon. It's considered a security. Well, if you go through Coinbase, you can do it because with Coinbase, we're already registered with the SEC. I see it. I see the game of chess that Coinbase is pulling off here. This is why crypto education is important. You can connect the dots. You understand what the heck is going on. I don't even like this information, but I understand what's going on. I can picture it. In other words, you might want to, any coin that's going to be listed on Coinbase because of this, they're going to have an advantage over the other exchanges. All right, let me continue. Coinbase, okay, they're answering my question here because I asked this question. Coinbase will integrate its technology into the acquired companies. There you go. I was wondering how they're going to do that. Because again, the SEC license is not with Coinbase, it's with these companies. So Coinbase still will have to go through these companies to make this happen. It says, will necessitate ensuring employees are licensed and requiring the company to divulge onboards and data to customers. The spokesperson gave no timeline. So the news comes as Coinbase is preparing to list as many as 5 new tokens in the coming months. Okay. Again, as a disclaimer, I am not a licensed financial advisor to be dispensing financial advice, but I will give a freaking suggestion based on experience. Whatever these coins are that's about to be listed on Coinbase, you want to have in your portfolio, because the moment it hits Coinbase, it's going to be given more access to people. Average people who don't know what a freaking exchange is, like my mom, but she has a Coinbase account. And if she logs into Coinbase and she sees, oh, there's new coins I can buy. Let me buy these coins. Now you're adding far more volume to these coins, which means the value of the coin is going to rise. You understand that? So let's see what this has to say. And I'm kicking myself because I just sold a bunch of these coins because I bought another mining machine. But anyways, these coins would be in addition to Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ether, and Bitcoin Cash, which are currently supported on the platform, and Ethereum Classic, which the firm will add in the coming months. So, what are the 5 coins? You ready? Zcash, Ox. Kathy, you mentioned something about Ox. I don't own any Ox that I remember. I own Zcash, I own Stellar, I own Cardano, and Basic Attention Token. I'm also curious on why they selected these. You're right, Kathy. That was a smarter move. That was a smarter move to make. I talked to Jairus about that. I said Jairus, I mean, I got these coins just sitting there, right? The market really ain't moving right now. Let me make my money work for me. Let me sell those coins, buy a mining machine. The mining machine may, I have to give that disclaimer, it may yield me a better profit, and then from the profit I go back and buy those coins again. Yeah, that was a far better move. So Coinbase interest in the 5 coins does not signify that the coins are not securities, as some assets may not be available in every country due to legal status. Classification of crowd sale sold tokens uncertain. Jay Clayton, chairman of the SEC, previously stated cryptocurrencies that are designed to replace fiat currencies such as Bitcoin do not fall under securities laws. There has been a debate, however, about how other cryptocurrencies are sold and crowd sales should be classified. The SEC also said almost all ICOs classify as a security according to federal rules. Okay, stop right there. He didn't say almost all, he said all, and he gave a specific definition of it. I'm going to go off memory, so you can't quote me on this, but he specifically said any company that creates an ICO where the public can purchase a coin with the sole intent of that company doing something, whether it's investing or whatever, for that coin to grow in value and create a profit on your behalf where they control the coin, is considered a security, and you must register. Because the intent of the people is to buy your ICO coin that's worth nothing right now with the sole intent on making a profit. That's the sale of a security. What ICO out there is not doing that? So it's all ICOs. The 4 coins on the Coinbase platform were the only coins Coinbase was confident about supporting. Coinbase COO, President and COO Hergy said earlier this year, in consideration of U.S. regulatory climate, a broker-dealer status will allow the company to list more coins. He said the licenses will enable Coinbase to achieve its goal to become the most trusted venue for people to trade and use different crypto assets. I don't know about the most trusted. I would probably say the most regulated, because I don't trust Coinbase, and I'm going to speak on that in a moment. Last month, Circle Internet Financial Ltd. reported plans to register as a trading platform and brokerage with the SEC in order to allow investors to trade tokens that are classified as securities. Circle further intends to secure a federal banking license so it can offer additional services. All right, I'm going to give my opinion on this. And again, this is not giving any financial advice. I'm only basing my opinion on experience. I've got skin in the game. The problem and the skepticism I have with Coinbase is the fact that they're so big and they're already on record of working hand in hand with the IRS and the agencies. And I'm not knocking them for that. It's just, I don't particularly want the government to have known exactly what I'm always doing, where all my accounts are. It's not their business. I'll report it and pay my taxes. That's all you need to know. But when it comes to trading, which is what they're trying to get into, here's where what they've done in the past that is shady as hell. When the market started to drop on certain coins, all of a sudden there's a freeze on Coinbase and you can't go in there and sell your freaking coins. And it lasted for like 24 hours or 48 hours. So by the time you got access to do anything, you already lost the advantage. The market's already dropped. And they didn't do it once. At least that I know of, 4 major times. 4. where all of a sudden the count, and they call it circuit breakers, and I don't buy that either, because the other exchanges didn't have any problem. See, and Jeremy brought up Exodus. Here's the point. Coinbase should only be used, and I do advise that you, at least if you're a beginner, you get a Coinbase account at least as a beginner. You know, you want to buy your Bitcoin for the very first time. Yeah, you get Coinbase. Easy to trust on that aspect. I do not suggest you hold all of your coins on Coinbase. I do not suggest you use Coinbase as a long-term wallet. Exodus should not be used as a day-to-day trading service. Exodus and your hard wallet should be used just to store your coins in, not to try to make last-minute moves because you see the market is changing, you're trying to do something. Again, education will allow you to know how to navigate this space. You should have multiple wallets. Do you know the people who own the most Bitcoin? They don't have just one wallet where all their crypto's in. They might have hundreds of them. You never know. The top 10 Bitcoin holders might even be the same person with different accounts. You don't trade more than $10,000 on one account. You do multiple trades on different accounts. You don't want to be seen as the whale because now you're let me shut up here because I am giving information that is privileged. You got to be a part of Cryptogenics to get this information. Multiple wallets. And don't let people know where your wallets are or what wallet you have. You're putting a target on your back. Security. You are your own bank. Anyways, that is it for tonight. I didn't have, the other articles. There's some out there. They bore me a little bit. I don't want to cover. But we will be back tomorrow morning for early morning crypto talk. But I will leave you with this because I haven't done it in a while. We are now onto the second half of the month for the second half of the year. No matter where you are in life, if you listen to my Facebook Live that I did on my birthday last Friday, I was really emotional about that because I'm thankful and grateful. Friday the 13th, 2012, I walked off my job and purchased my own freedom. And here, 6 years later, I'm in a better position now than I was then. But there's always been ups and downs. There's peaks and valleys. 1 year ago, I was not in such a very good situation. Yeah, I was still working from home. But I was at a point where I was virtually nearly had to go back to a 9-to-5 job. Things were not going my way. In fact, it's like everything I did, nothing was working right. I remember telling some friends of mine that summer, last summer, 2017, if just one, I think we had about 4 projects going on. If just one works, that's all I need, just one. It's going to be a good year. And guess what? None of them worked. Every single thing failed. I was still in the middle of my crypto education at the time. And since Justice spoke up, she's the one I was telling this about. Do you remember that, Justice? If just one thing worked. And I was racking my brain over it. And it was me and Jairus was involved. And it seemed nothing was going right. I am living proof that you're one decision and 60 days away, because the day I was supposed to start my DirecTV job, and it pains me to even say that, the day I was supposed to start that, I made a decision and said, heck no. I use different language, but I'm on a Facebook Live, so I gotta be PG. And I took that crap off. I made a decision, and I had faith, and I just went for it. Less than 60 days, I was back at 5 figures a month. That's right, Kathy. God intervened, but I had faith. I knew that wasn't the path God wanted me on. And I was wrestling with, well, I got to be responsible, do what I need to do for my family. I got to pay the bills. But that's not living. That's barely surviving. I said, no, I didn't come all this way to go back to the rat race. I made a decision, put my head down. I was willing to learn. I took the risk, and I went for it with no... See, a lot of people complain too damn much. No excuses. I just did it. Whatever obstacle came around, I kicked it in the mouth and kept moving forward. It only took 60 days. And never looked back since. So if you're in a situation where this Monday, you wake up on Monday morning before the sun is up to get ready to go to work. You rush off to rush hour traffic, to go to a job you don't like, to work with people you can't stand, to eat lunch at 12 when you're hungry at 11, to ask for permission to go to the bathroom as if you're a child. To do this for 40 years of your life if you're lucky enough not to get laid off, for the economy to remain stable, and you retire at the age of 65, knowing that you're going to retire broke, dependent on family, government, and friends, with no 401k, no more savings, no more, what do you call this, life or mortgage or anything. Your house is a liability and not an asset. See, when people, I haven't done this in a long time. You know what, not since my ACN days when we would do meetings in a room. And I would ask about how many of you in this room own your own house, and 70% of their hands go up. Okay, let me rephrase that question. How many of you live in a house where the mortgage is paid for and you own it 100%? All the hands go down. Maybe 1 or 2 hands is still raised. So you don't actually own the home you live in. We're living a debt society and a debt life. There is a way out. But you've got to make the decision. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what your path may lead to in the future. I do have a solution for your problem. If you're willing to admit you've got a problem that needs to be solved, I have a solution for that. But if you don't believe my solution is your solution, then I encourage you to find a solution, because the alternative is not going to look good for you. And I say that with all due respect. It's that old cartoon about the ant and the grasshopper. This is the calm before the storm, and a storm is coming. What are you doing now to prepare for it? As much as I'm doing, I'm still up at night because I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not where I need to be enough. So with that, you guys have a great evening. I'll see you tomorrow morning, early morning crypto talk. Have a good evening. God bless. Good night. Bye-bye.
Crypto Gen X.